Why am I not losing more weight? I was recently talking to a client who was basically that frustrated because she was doing all the things she thought she should be doing, eating right, exercising, doing all this stuff, focusing on her goals, but she wasn't losing the weight that she wanted. And so I introduced her to this new concept that I called filling the meter. Filling the meter is achieving any goal, whether it's a fitness goal or a life goal. Each day, the goal should not be to reach the goal. The goal should be to fill the habit meter. For example, look at these sticky notes here. Let's say, for example, to do a 10 out of 10 of that habit today, to be perfectly adherent, to follow through, you need to do 10 sticky notes, 10 post-it notes that fills the meter to 100% like it's a battery. You filled the battery 100%. And let's say this habit in particular is the working out battery. You filled it, let's say 7 out of 10 today, and as a result, you did a 70% job. The habit meter has been 70% filled up out of an ideal 100%. Well, the secret is really to set the goal of losing the weight or reaching whatever, but then to forget it, because you have to bring it back to the daily habit philosophy, which is what my book Master the Day is built on. If you can figure out that's the goal out there somewhere, how do I bring it back to today, putting today in an airtight box of habits? That's what the habit meter is used for doing. So let's talk about this filling the meter concept a little bit more in depth. The fundamental idea is simple. Daily habits, if you focus on cultivating daily habits, you're way more likely to reach a goal than if you focus on conventional goal setting. This has been well backed by science now, but how do you do it? For me, I set aside a little fill meter for each one of my habits. So let's say, for example, we've given you 4 habits. Let's say the first habit is eating veggies at each meal, because you've determined that that's a habit that's going to help you lose weight and reach the goals physically and emotionally and internally that you want. Let's say another goal is to work out a certain number of times each week. Another goal is to avoid a bad habit, like drinking soda, and then yet another goal is to avoid another bad habit, like eating candy or consuming sugar. Well, how do you actually turn these into this filling the meter philosophy? Well, what I would do is each day you can actually manually track it on a whiteboard if you want, but for me, it really looks like the following. You take the habit and you track day to day how adherent you were and how well you actually stuck with the habit. So let's say for the first day, we're talking about the habit of eating veggies today, right? Make every today exist in its own airtight, perfect box. Today, how well did I do with the habit? Well, I only did it, about half of when I said I would. All right, so let's only fill the meter 50%. So we do 5 out of the 10 sticky notes. That is the habit meter. That is the filling the meter today for the veggie habit. Let's say the exercise habit. I said I was going to do 30 minutes today and only did 10. So let's put about 3 or 4 sticky notes here so that we can visually conceptualize and look at the filling the meter habit for exercise today, which is 3 or 4 out of the 10. Let's say then you also had the habit of tracking your bad habits. So how much soda you drank. Maybe you have 2 sodas a day, and the goal is actually to get down to 1 soda a day in the short run, but eventually 0 sodas. So today, let's say you had 1 soda out of 2, and 10 in this case would be the worst, right? You had 10 out of 10, all the bad habits. So let's bring it down to a 5. That means you were 50% of the way today towards eradicating that bad habit, which is awesome. And then let's say you also are tracking sugar, and the goal was to have sugar only once a day instead of sugar 3 times a day in between each meal. So let's say 10 out of 10 would be the worst amount of sugar here, and let's say you did a decent job, and let's bring it down to a 3 out of 10. So you did about 70% of the work you had to do, and that's pretty good. That's not bad. But now the most important thing is look at the actual lineup of all your habits for the day. You can visually conceptualize, look at your own future. This is like having your own crystal ball. This is being able to look deep into the future because you can see exactly where you're going to be in a year or 5 years or even just 3 months from now. Because these are the daily habits that are going to predict what manifests in your life physically as far as your health and your wellness. And you've just taken an abstract idea, essentially your habits, and turned them into very physical, colorful counterparts that clearly illustrate essentially where you're going. And so this idea of filling the meter has become a very important idea of mine. And you can see on the board there, you can see the check marks, checks, the blanks. That's my own way of tracking this filling the meter idea. If you can track the day-to-day habits, you can predict your future better than anything. And so what I'm trying to share with you is that maybe if you're not getting the fitness goal that you want or the other goals, stop focusing on that goal, which makes you obsessed, which makes you depressed, and maybe just bring it back to the day-to-day and start filling the meter. So your tiny daily habit for today is to use this filling the meter philosophy. You could track things like that on my board, or you could do it with Post-it sticky notes like I've done. It's kind of fun, it's kind of colorful. What I would do is I would do that, take a picture and put it in Evernote or some kind of note document, and then you could really see over the weeks and months, are you really doing as good of a job as you think you are? And then it's no mystery, it's no secret, you're gonna reach your goals eventually. Now before you go, I want you to leave a comment right there below. What have you found to be the most discouraging part about setting goals? Hey guys, it's Alex. Did you like this video? If so, there are 3 ways you can really stay in touch with me. The first thing is obviously to click the subscribe button right there. Every single day I'm releasing a brand new Tiny Habit video to help you lose weight, feel awesome, and live better. Second thing is you can check out my book Master the Day. Brand new, just came out, it's been topping the Amazon bestseller list, and it's been getting great feedback. It's all about the tiny success habits to help you lose your next 20 or 30 pounds and get to kind of that next level, both in your health, but also in your life. And the third thing is, come visit me over on my website, modernhealthmonk.com. Punch in your email there and I'll give you a free guide on the exact 5 daily habits to help you lose your next 20 or 30 pounds. So go do those 3 things now, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.